They're back. Hey guys, there's been a little bit of time gone under the bridge since I last brought a video. A couple of reasons for that. One is that we haven't had a great deal of activity on our block around our property over the last couple of years really. A couple of minor little things happened but nothing of note. And also with all this COVID craziness too, and other things, life's just gotten really busy and what have you. But we've just had something really interesting take place. We been on a week's holiday down at Coolangatta here in southeast Queensland, Australia, and had our last day down there today, and we got this text from my sister-in-law because she was staying at our place, sort of house sitting with my mother-in-law, and they sent us a text with these photos. Now these photos were of some very, very unusual footprints. Now one of the things that they had noticed whilst we were away, there's a couple of nights there between, I think the hours are between about 1 and 3 a.m. Our new dog that we have, because as most of you know, our Kelpie that used to chase Yowies died some years ago, but we now have a new dog. Her name is Indy, and she's got a little collar around her there to stop her getting through the gap there, but she's a bundle of energy. But she's been a little bit of an alarm bell of late, and apparently the last couple of nights between the hours of 1 and 3 she's been barking and growling quite aggressively at something. And so here's the photos of the footprints that my sister and mother-in-law discovered today, and yeah, needless to say we were quite interested and quite keen to get home and have a look at it. I'm going to have to do this sort of video fairly quickly because we do have a storm coming in fairly soon. It's apparently a fairly severe one coming in from Warwick, which is sort of southwest of our location, thereabouts, quite some ways away, but these storms tend to come in pretty quick. And yeah, I want to get this filmed. I want to take a bit of a cast of these footprints if I can. Hopefully use some base coat so it dries out fairly quickly so we can get a cast done before the rain washes it away. Anyhow, come and have a look at this. It's a little bit dark, so hopefully it'll show up on the camera, but here it is. So this is the footprint here. Now, it's not a very, what you'd say, a large footprint, but it is quite peculiar. Width-wise, look, it's probably about the width of my foot, which is sort of about 100 mil there, and I've got a cow coming in now, it's ready to stomp all over this buttercup. So there's the footprint there. Now, what you got to understand is my mother and sister-in-law don't walk around the property bare feet, and this happened overnight, this footprint, we believe. Width-wise, it's around about 100 mil, probably a bit over actually. You go to the edge there, 110 mil, which is sort of like a bit over 4 inches. You get an indication. There's my foot. I'm a size 13. But the funny thing is the length of the print is about 240 centimetres there to this point here. So you can sort of see it goes from there down to here. fairly narrow heel. The only thing I can think of is that it didn't actually plant its heel here, it was actually up on its toes. Now the toes are quite long. Now, and look, it looks like it could have possibly started here and then dug their toes, like the toes have slid a little bit and sort of dug into the mud there, but I would have thought that would have gone a little deeper, so I'm possibly even thinking this thing was up on its, maybe even slightly up on its tippy toes. And these particular toes, I think, were actually quite long. That's my take on it. Look, if I'm sort of going to do a similar thing here with my feet. Now let you know, guys, I'm 105 kilo. I'm going to dig my toes in and flick it up a bit. Ready? Dig in, flick back. Now, that's what I was able to do. And this mud is quite thick and boggy, so I couldn't really slide in that. So as you can see, you see my big toe here. If I put it into that little crevice there, I've got a whopping big toe, and I could not push off very far. Might just try that again. Push off. Right. Let's see what I can do here. Now, okay, I've dug my big toe in. Now, got a fair bit of depth there, but even on my smaller toes here, I couldn't get any purchase. It's only because I've really pushed into my big toe. The ball of my feet's dug in a little bit there, but it's nothing like the toe formation over here. Like, this is incredible. Like, it's really, really long. I couldn't make my toes slide like that. Look, it's very peculiar. There's no real heel to this. It sort of comes down to here and then sort of just fades away a little bit, so I'm not sure whether the foot's much bigger than that. I would estimate, looking at the size of the toes and the ball of the feet there, that I would estimate that the heel, I'll put mine next to it, the heel's sort of got to come to about there, so realistically it's probably closer to about a 300mm sort of footprint there. Now they did send some sorry, I got a cow here trying to get in on the action, so say hello, Buttercup. You've been a pest at the moment, aren't you? Hey, Butters? Yeah. The other interesting occurrence since we've been gone is this branch that's been ripped off the tree here. Now, it's a new shoot because I cut this tree back a little while ago, so look, it's definitely not rotted wood. I'd say that the bond there, well, may not have been the greatest, but it doesn't look like there's any rot between the two surfaces. But in this particular branch here, coming off the tree, is not particularly heavy. So I'm thinking in order for that to pull off, it's going to need some sort of force. I don't think that is just going to fall and break away just by itself. So now this happened while we were away as well. So look, you know, it's another interesting find. Did the Yowie do that? Maybe. Has it done it before? Yeah, sure. It's just, I find that very difficult to think that that would just fall down by itself, and you know, certainly wasn't struck by lightning. When you've seen on my previous videos what lightning does to a tree, that is just a fresh break. And look, you know, there's no rot there. That to me would have had to have been pulled out. And you know, like I said, maybe the bond wasn't that great, but to me, that just didn't happen. That just didn't fall off by itself. We have had storms, so yeah, look, maybe the wind may have blown it off, but then we've got all these other new shoots here that seem very, very healthy, and they have not moved. So, look, it's definitely very interesting, and I'm definitely putting that down to a possible branch break by a Yowie. Again, happened while we were away, so when in conjunction, when viewed in conjunction with that footprint, it certainly creates a few dots to join, doesn't it? Anyhow, interesting stuff. There are a couple of other footprints that she picked up on the photos, which you can actually see there, but I found it quite hard to make out when I was just doing my sort of searching across the ground then. So I'll do a little bit more looking around and see if I can find some more. But it was mainly that one that I thought was particularly peculiar. Now, look, it may actually be nothing. Maybe someone's wandering across our property, stalking the place. I don't know why they'd want to do that at 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. But who knows, people are capable of anything. But put it this way, it definitely wasn't my mother-in-law, definitely wasn't my sister-in-law. And look, the dog was going crazy between those hours of 1 and 3 in the morning, so someone or something was definitely there. Considering our history, the possibility of that being a Yowie is quite high. And look, judging by the size of it, I don't think it was a fully grown one. If it was a Yowie, probably, I don't know, maybe a juvenile based on the previous size footprints that we've had, which are sort of up around close to the size, I don't know, 17, 18 plus mark. They're much bigger than my foot. So this one's sort of probably more about the size of mine, sort of a size 13 if I was to extrapolate from the toe down to the heel. But anyhow, needless to say, a little bit of interest which has popped up of late, which we haven't had for a while, so I'll take it, because look, when you go from having, oh, sorry, just got to try and lift this gate over. When you go from having, when you go from having activity happen on your property every single night, solid for, well, almost every single night, it's a bit of an exaggeration. There were some nights for weeks in a row where we'd have something going on, to a point where you have next to nothing happening. It sort of gets a bit boring after a while, so it's nice to have a little bit of activity going on, and in light of the fact that the dog's been going off, I'm sort of going to be a little bit more alert moving forward, and hopefully we might get a little bit more action happening to share on this particular channel. But anyhow guys, good to put another video up. I don't like sort of posting anything unless it's of interest, so I don't sort of, not interested in putting videos up willy-nilly if nothing really has happened. But anyhow, it's good to provide something that might be of interest. Yeah, if anything else happens, I will be sure to post another video. Thanks guys, take care, and see you on the next one.